So first of all, yeah, it's an absolute pleasure to be here in front of you. Really a delight. I'm Oliver Väärtnõu. I'm the CEO of an Estonian IT company called Cybernetica. What we do is we build e-government and cybersecurity solutions, and also a little bit solutions for maritime situation awareness. I have 3 goals with this speech. I would like to tell you why to buy or why to use Estonian e-government technologies, what's unique about us. I want to also talk about a little bit about Cybernetica and what we have achieved in a couple of places around the world. Namely, I'm going to talk about our references in Benin and Ukraine, because we think that these are really nice use cases where we have succeeded taking the Estonian e-government model and replicated in a bigger and more complex environments with really actually quick results. And thirdly, I would like to also give you some recommendations on what we have learned. What are important things that when you as decision makers or administrators or business people that are involved in deploying advanced, let's say, e-government technologies, what you should be looking for, what are the lessons learned. But first of all, I usually start my presentations around the globe with this slide, saying that when you acquire Estonian technology, you're not just buying technology, but you're also buying certain values that are embedded in these technologies. And I think this is really, really important, especially in today's global environment, where you have superpowers competing and technology is being used as a tool in a lot of cases for acquiring information, acquiring influence, etc. When you look at the Estonian e-government tech stack, then this is designed, let's say, in the 2000s and 2010s, based on really democratic values, and also the government is built around citizen and business. So how can the government service the citizen, how we can provide better services to the citizens, and how we can also provide better services to our businesses. So when we talk about Estonian tech stack, we're talking about digital sovereignty. We have built this e-government here in Estonia in a way that it resides in Estonia. We have the control of our technologies. Of course, we can run it in clouds, be it in United States or Europe, but at the end of the day, we control on what we have, and it's our sovereignty that we have. Secondly, transparency. The way we use data, the way we use technologies, we built the aspects of transparency into our tech. Those who want to learn more, I'm happy to take a discussion afterwards. I'm not going to go through, let's say, technical bits here, but this is very important. Interoperability. How do you make sovereign organizations work together on equal terms? This is something that maybe sounds very self-explanatory, but doesn't really happen in a lot of the countries. Citizen control and consent. How can the citizen control the data? How can I give consent to, for example, if I share data with third parties, or if I open up data to third parties when I'm leading something? So I think this is fundamental. When we talk about Estonian tech, we are not only buying technology, but we are also buying certain values that are encompassed in these technologies. Second, Cybernetica. We're an Estonian IT company that is unique because of the fact that we grew out from a research institute, and we still do a lot of research inside Cybernetica. And that's our competitive edge. When we when we develop our technologies, or when we go to our customers, we say that we give you a future-proof technology, meaning that the technology that we deploy will stand the test of time and is maybe a little bit ahead of its time. We have an institute inside Cybernetica that does a lot of work on computer science, on information security, that really, takes us on the forefront and also keeps us always ahead of the adversary. This is very, very important for us. Over the last years, we have been very fundamental in creating the Estonian e-government technology stack. When you look at main technologies that Estonia is known for, Cybernetica always has some role to play, whether it's the X-Road interoperability system, whether it's electronic identity, whether it's internet voting, our tax and customs systems, even smart grid. And also, we work very closely with the Estonian government on the topic of cybersecurity. Nowadays, of course, our mission is not only to be here good in Estonia. Estonia is our homegrown. We take it very seriously that Estonia is always competitive, always secure, etc. But our second mission is to take these technologies that we have created here and deploy them across the globe. So 2 references that I would like to talk about. We have deployed the full-scale interoperability platform and the citizen portal in Benin. We have around 70 government institutions connected and over 3 million information exchanges done on this interoperability platform. And we actually have created around 400 different e-government services on the platform. These are powering both citizen services, so for example, social benefits, tax inquiries, but also services to businesses, whether it's getting certain permits or declaring levies, or simply taking part in public procurements. For Benin, this has been a very pivotal kind of deployment, and it has really helped them to also increase their position in the UN online services index. Nowadays, they are 13th in Africa. Before this reform, they were in the lower ranks. I must also say that there has been a very, very strong commitment from the Benin government and from the president's office to strive towards this success. It wasn't a bottom-up initiative, it was really a top-down initiative that we want to take our government digital. And we are very super proud to have that reference, and we still continue to work and provide the best practices to Benin, even still today. Second reference that I would like to talk about is Ukraine. We started to work with Ukraine in 2017. So before the full-scale war started, Ukrainian government came to us saying, having been analyzed, that they would like to also have the Estonian e-government model, the interoperability put in place, just like in Estonia. They opted for a product version of the X-Road, which we called Unified Exchange Platform, because they wanted to see quick results, and they also wanted a more scalable solution. So we deployed the UXP platform, which nowadays really powers the DIA app, which is one of the most known digital government apps in the world. The platform utilizes 280 state bodies, has some 400 services and about 25 billion transactions in total. Ukrainian government has also calculated that it saves about 2 billion euros or 310 man-years by just calculating that what stacks of paper they were distributing before and what is the solution nowadays as well. What we are also proud of is that, as you know, Ukraine is in the middle of the war. There are constant attacks, both physical and cyber attacks. on the Ukrainian infrastructure, what we have been able to do is to keep the infrastructure always secure and resilient in a way as well, that there have not been any like centralized or central crashes of the infrastructure over the last year. And again, we are still continuing our work with Ukrainians. We are implementing access tracking. We are implementing consent management currently in Ukraine, the same values-based technologies that I was mentioning in the early phases of my presentation. So some success factors that we are looking for or that we recommend to our customers. First of all, leadership and will. There has to be a drive, central drive, for a digital reform. The higher it is, the better it is. I was mentioning Banaan. The initiative came from President Tolan. When we're talking about Ukraine, also it was the President's office that was pushing for radical digitalization. We see that this is the winning formula. Digitalization is a whole of government approach. If it falls into one of the sectors, one of the pillars, one of the silos, it cannot spread. But what you want to achieve is you want to achieve a digital society. So the higher leadership, the strongest political will, this is where you actually, I think, will make a difference. Public-private partnership. We believe here in Estonia that public-private partnership is the key for success. You know, we're a small country. The government doesn't necessarily have all the resources. Neither does the private sector. It's good to work together. When we worked in various countries, whether it's Banaan, Ukraine, Malaysia, or anywhere else, we are actually looking for private partners, but also the government to work with. It's in our main goal is to do a knowledge transfer, and not only to the government, but knowledge transfer also to the private sector, who can then, you know, learn and stay supporting this infrastructure in the local context. Capability building. We see that investment into research, development, education, and training is super important when countries want to deploy technologies, but also want to stay technologically sovereign. You have to understand what is happening in your ecosystem and how the technologies that you are acquiring are working. That's fundamental. We, as a vendor, we will provide you technology, we will provide you third-level support, sometimes second-level support, but it's essential that you build these capabilities inside your country. And we help you to do that as well. And finally, transparency. Build transparency into the system, be transparent in your actions. I think that is essential for success. You will have the support of the citizens, you will have the support of the communities when they know what you are doing, why they're doing, and how they're doing. And I think this is something that you should definitely keep in mind. My time is up. Thank you for this opportunity to present here. I will be here for the next 10 minutes if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Oliver. Happy to take a quick question, if there is one. Anyone with a quick question that we can...
There's a very aggressive clock here,
yes.
Which has said that I think about 2 minutes over time already.
Yes.
So,
any question?
Any question? There's one gentleman over there at the back.
Is there a mic at the
Please.
back? Yeah, just that we can take one as we...
Good afternoon, everybody. Latif Sheikhun from Fulton County, Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you so much, Oliver, for the conversation. It's a bit of a technical or cybersecurity question, so pardon the question. So with the proliferation of ransomware attacks, as well as the proliferation of Gen AI in the last 5 years, as you continue to architect and build these type of products that you want to scale to other either economies, governments, or agencies, how are you de-risking or mitigating that risk now that the attack vectors have significantly increased?
So first of all, like I mentioned, invest into research and development. We have to be a couple of years ahead of our adversary, or at least understand what is happening and how these new technologies can be deployed. In regards to AI, we are doing really, fundamental research on the security of AI, also looking at deep fakes, how these can be utilized, providing other factors of authentication on top of biometrics. So this is very, very important. In Estonia, if you look at how our ecosystem works, biometric onboarding is always has another layer. So we don't really fundamentally trust the biometrics, the deepfakes, and the AI generated content, so to say. So yeah, I mean, I would say that, and in regards to ransomware as well, the way you design systems, and if you look at, for example, the Estonian e-government model, it's a distributed system. You cannot have the Maersk attack in Estonia where you kind of make the whole of government insolvent, because the government resides in different pieces. So there are certain architectural information security controls that you need to have in place, and trust me, we have done that in this country.
Thank you, Oliver.
Thank you.